Have you ever been in a relationship where everything seems perfect, but deep down, something feels off? You're physically together, but emotionally, you might as well be miles apart. The worst part? It's not the big fights or arguments, it's the silence. That deafening silence that makes you feel ignored and invisible. I've been there, and let me tell you, silence is far worse than a fight. It's not about what your partner is saying, but about what they aren't saying. It's the lack of effort, the emotional distance, and that growing communication gap. And over time, you start to wonder, am I the only one still trying? For me, it started subtly. The "I love you"s began to fade, and the "how was your day" s became shorter. I thought it was just a phase. Work was stressful, life was busy. But the silences kept growing longer. Conversations turned into one-word responses, texts barely got answered. I couldn't ignore this emotional neglect any longer. You know that feeling? You send a text, and you wait, and nothing. You try again, "How was your day?" and get, "Fine, just fine." That's it. And inside, it eats at you because you know something is wrong. At first, I told myself, it's okay. He's just busy. But when we were together, it felt like we were living in two separate worlds. I could be right next to him, but emotionally, he was miles away. That emotional distance? It spreads like wildfire. It starts small but quickly takes over if you don't address it. The weird part? When I'd ask him about his day, nothing. I'd make plans to go out, but he was always too tired or busy. You start wondering, am I even on his mind anymore? He was physically present, but emotionally checked out. And the worst part? Feeling ignored when you need connection the most. That's when I realized, being ignored is a form of neglect. Emotional neglect. The kind that makes you feel like you're invisible. You start questioning, why am I the only one trying here? But this wasn't just a rough patch. It was something deeper. It hit me hard. The longer I let this go on, the more I was losing myself. I felt alone in a relationship. Alone, with the person I was supposed to love and share everything with. I had a choice. I couldn't keep living this way. I had to do something. So, I faced the silence head on. I realized I was letting it control me, and if I didn't speak up, it would consume me. So, I did what was hard. I spoke up. I had to. I called out the silence. What I learned? Silence doesn't fix anything. If you're feeling ignored or neglected, don't wait for things to improve on their own. Take action. Speak your truth. Address the communication gap, because no one deserves to feel invisible in a relationship. Have you ever felt ignored in a relationship? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more stories about emotional neglect, hit that subscribe button. This is Cheat Chronicles, where we dive deep into the real stuff.